Yo, what is up today, fam? We are back on another warm German day. If you're wondering why I got a sweatshirt on, well, that's because I got a fresh tattoo and I don't want it to get damaged while doing work or by the sun. But anyways, we're back on Project Giant Slayer again today. And today we are actually going to be working on the suspension. And I have a bunch of little suspension goodies here. And I'll explain what each one of these little Johnnies are, right? So right here, we got a rigid subframe collar kit from Gen Racer. All this is to make sure that your subframe does not move under lateral forces. Because when you put sticky 200 tread wear tires, slicks, etc., right, your subframe holes are actually a bit bigger than the bolts to aid in the manufacturing process. A process just making it easier. So if you don't have something like this, your alignment can be actually moved at a spec pretty easy just from lateral grip alone. So quick and easy little mod. I think that was like 20 bucks, right? Then here, next we have PowerFlex lower camber bushings. This is supposed to give you a half a degree of negative camber more. So definitely need that. Right here, we got our, so pretty much going to be our camber bushing lockout. What these are used for is actually to fill a void inside of the factory control arm. Let's see if I can show y'all right here, right? If you notice, hold on, camera looks a little wonky. And we back. That's a little bit better, I think. If you notice right here, the bolt literally just goes to the bushing, right? There's no support for that bolt at all. So what this does is this machine piece of aluminum is going to go inside of that bushing, and it's actually going to make it so that under forces, that bolt now can't wallow out that bushing like that and cause suspension slop. So nice little mod right here should lead to the front end feeling a bit smoother. Let me roll around, goddamn. And last but not least, we have PowerFlex caster bushings, and these are actually going to add a bit more caster, which will give us more camber while turning, which will lead to more grip. All right, I'm not going to give you a whole class on just how caster works, etc., but just know, so these things will make it handle better and really channel that inner Type R killer in Elantra N that we all know is there, right? So first thing I'm gonna get started with is installing our rigid subframe collars, because this is a super easy mod, and I'll explain to you how to do that underneath the car. All right, so if you come right to either the driver or passenger side, you just come over right where the wheel well is. What you want to do, you're going to be installing that rigid subframe collar right underneath this brace and this bolt here. But what you're going to want to do is remove these two right here, 14 mil nut and bolt. And then you're going to have to remove this 19 mil subframe bolt. And then you'll be able to drop this whole assembly right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out, and I'll show y'all what it looks like underneath. Okay, so I got this lower brace off already, and the hole that we're gonna be installing our actual rigid subframe collar in is right here. So it's gonna go in like this. It is a snug fit, but if you look right here, so this is the bolt, this is your subframe bolt. Really, when you put on those rigid collars, you see that it's not able to move, right? Keeps that, right? So that little bit of space right here, that little bit of meat, is just how much room your subframe actually could move and deflect under hard lateral loads. So what I did was, I pretty much just came in here with a towel, made sure all the dirt and grime was out of that hole, then put in and kind of put this in as straight as I can. And then you want to grab a piece of wood, and then you want to put it against this, and you want to tap it until it's flush inside of there, because it kind of press fits. Just like that, she is installed. So now you just want to put everything back like how you found it. Clean off whatever dirt and debris there may be, just so everything is flush. That bolt should go straight back up and thread. It might be a little bit tight. If it is a little bit tight, then you may need to loosen up the other side just to get it going, just because it's very possible that your subframe is already shifted a little bit, but that's no problem. So now, once you do that, all you have to do is tighten everything up, and then you are G to G on your rigid subframe collar install. All right, y'all, so we have installed our rigid subframe collars. Everything's buttoned back up on both sides. So now what we need to do is get both of our lower control arms on our front suspension removed so we can install our PowerFlex camber and caster bushing. So what you're going to need for this job is to remove the 17 mil bolt here. Then you have 3 17 mil nuts here for your ball joint, which shout out to Hyundai, love that design where the ball joint can just be bolted on, fire design. And then you have another 17 mil right here. I did take out the lower, the one clamp holding this up, just so I could pull it down a little bit in order to be able to get my socket in there with a breaker bar. Once you get these 17 mils broken, the bolt is captured, it's welded on the other side. The nut is welded on the other side. So all you gotta do is just keep bringing it out and it'll come out. Then once that's all done, then we have to finagle this lower control arm out. So we'll see if it is okay or if it is hell. We will see, but I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. Okay, I was able to get the first control arm out. Basically what I did, I removed all the bolts and nuts I told you about. From there, I had to tap on the side of the control arm where the ball joint was just to get it to break. But once I did that, I was able to load the control arm and then I was able to shimmy it out. So not too hard there, but yep. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and we'll get these new bushings pressed in, get those thrown on. I probably should do an alignment too, and I'll get my final impressions. So yeah, let's get to it. Man, it's a hot day in Germany, y'all. God damn. But we are back from the shop where I got my bushings pressed in. And I must say, y'all, do not attempt to try this at home if you do not have all the tools needed. This bushing wasn't that hard. If you just have a press at home, you can get it done, or maybe even a vise. But this one right here, oh my God. This bushing was hell, but we got our bushings installed, and I'll kind of show you how these are adjusted. Let me grab the spanners that come with it. So right here, right? So this bushing is to adjust caster, and you can rotate it like that, and it offsets it depending on where you rotate it. Our camber bushing is right here. You can rotate this with the spanner wrench. Well, can't do it right now, but you're actually able to rotate these, and you're actually able to access these when they're on the car to make adjustments. So cool, so super cool. This adds about half a degree of negative camber or a positive degree of camber, and this can add, I'm not sure how many degrees of caster, but more is beneficial. So definitely happy about this. Now time to get these control arms back on, man. It is a day. I'm exhausted, but we got to get it done so we can get an alignment. Then I can really tell y'all my thoughts on these suspension mods that I did. So let's get it. Yo, so we are in the car now. I've been driving a couple weeks now with the Camber caster bushings, the rigid subframe collars, as well as the control arm lockout bushings. So I just wanted to give y'all my opinion and just what I think of all these mods. So first off, I do want to start off by saying that if you have a drivetrain, god dang, I can't talk. If you have a drivetrain clunk, as in when you put your car in gear or reverse, you hear a little doom or something like that. If you do the rigid subframe collars and then the control arm bushing lockouts, that will be remedied. So if that is your problem, buy those parts now and it will fix your problem, guaranteed. So what we ended up with was about 5 degrees of positive caster on both sides of the car, just from those caster bushings, and we ended up with another 1/2 degree of camber with those offset lower control arm bushings that we have. And I must say, the car feels so hooked up going through corners now. At first it felt like I didn't have quite enough camber with just the camber bolts, because those are only good for about -2.5 degrees of camber, but now it feels like I have the perfect amount of camber for this car to really put down the power and carry those speeds through corners without understeering. And I gotta say, the car feels magical. Like, the car is super predictable. I drive it with just all the nannies off, and I'm actually able to make the car dance and rotate with the throttle, which is super nice. Like, if I lift right here, the car rotates, hit the gas, pulls it straight, no problem at all. And I can just make the car dance. The car feels super predictable under you. You feel very connected. I feel like the front end feels a lot more communicative, as just, you know, of what the car is doing. And man, I gotta say, it's a special feeling. Like, the car feels so good with this added caster. The steering weight isn't much affected. You know, this is an EPS unit, but man, it feels so good. And if these are a couple mods that you're thinking about doing, I will say, for the money, like, they make the car feel so good. Like, I'm super just happy with these modifications and the way they made the car feel. And if you are going to do these modifications, I recommend doing them as a package, because man, the car just feels so good. And then, like, after an alignment, like, speaking of alignment, the settings that I have, I think I'm at almost 3.5 degrees of camber in the front, which feels really good. Some people say that that's a little bit too much, but for me, I love the way it feels. It feels super proper. As far as the toe, I'm running a half a mil of toe out total. So not too much toe out, but turning feels really good with the setup. The front end feels very darty and communicative, but it doesn't tram line or anything like that, which I like, which definitely just helps to inspire confidence. My rear end, I think I'm at like -2 degrees of camber in the rear, and just a smidge of toe in. Zero toe would probably make the rear end a little bit more lively, but wow, that is crazy. And what is this person doing? That is fucking nuts. Just go, man. Just go. You don't even put your hand up or nothing, huh? Wow. That is nuts, people. That is absolutely nuts. But this is where I'm going to end the video here. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comment section below. And I will have all these parts linked in the description where you can get them. But thanks for watching. Take it easy. Out.
Coach.